Archy Jamjun!
I was pulling into my garage and I got an email and I got really excited because 3 days before I'd emailed my director at North Park University about how well my first class had gone and how excited I was to teach it again next fall. So I finished pulling into the garage, I put the car in park, cut the engine off, and I read the email. I open it up and it says, "Dear Arch, I'm so sorry to tell you, I've been told I'm not allowed to hire you back. It's really unfortunate since your student assessments were off the chart." Now, along with this email, he sent a screenshot of the email he received about me, and the words non-missional fit and inappropriate punched me in the gut. See, I thought I'd been doing everything right to establish an academic career, and the fact that I was doing it at a Christian university felt crazy, but also very full circle. Growing up, I really experienced the uglier side of Christianity. When I was in high school, there were these two evangelical Korean girls who stalked me and tried to convert me, but they would hide their evil plans behind like smiles, giggles, and Hello Kitty accessories. In college, there was a pastor who would stand on the quad every week and he would yell at me, "You're a faggot who's gonna burn in hell!" And I felt bad for him because he was dressed as an Amish pastor. But I also was I got so angry because I was I'm paying to go to school here and I have to listen to this, and it just got me so angry. And even in 2014 at my MFA freshman mixer, this student from Wheaton College, I was talking to her and she was like, I don't hate you, but being gay, that is your sin. And I told her I was a Buddhist who thought the concept of sin kind of binary and simple compared to the complexity of karma. And she told me, it's true. And she told me, "You're gonna go to hell." And I was like, "You are really bad at networking." But the students and staff at North Park University started to change my mind about that. I really started to fall for the school's idea of service and community. I even started to wonder if Jesus and Buddha could live together in my heart. And I went to my first Christmas service to find out what Christmas really means. And by the way, it starts out with this thing called Immaculate Conception, which I just believe deserves a Q&A at the very least. But as I finished reading the email, I just slumped into the chair of my car and I closed the garage door while I was still in it. It was January and I just watched winter disappear and I sat in the dark. When I was a freshman in college, our film professor told our class that gay men were only born to be either hairstylists or flight attendants. That sounds completely crazy until you realize it wasn't until 1988 that any law to protect gay and lesbian workers existed in the United States. And even to this day, only 21 states protect gay and lesbians or trans workers at all. Now, growing up, I always felt like I had to mute myself anywhere outside of the bedroom, you know? I could not walk. Well, that comes later, but I couldn't walk the way I sometimes walk now. I had to lie to people. When I had to tell my cousin that I found the Pert Plus shampoo girl very sexy, when it was actually the construction worker that I had my eye on. I had to hide myself, and that created a sense of shame that I can keep in check, but I still carry it to this day. I mean, sometimes I still feel like alley trash. And luckily, that feeling rarely stops me from being the sparkling glitter ball of joy that I am now. Bow down, bitches. But as I sat in the car, I felt those dark feelings rise up again. I had let myself feel accepted at North Park. I'd let them see me I was myself there. And they found out who I was. And they decided it was time to take out the trash. Now, a professor who I'd worked closely with, she's right there, her name is Melissa, and she's awesome. A professor that I'd worked closely with encouraged me to set up a meeting with two of the deans so that we could talk about it, maybe have a change of heart, just see what could happen. And as I walked into the conference room, one of the deans shook my hand and said, "Arch, it's so nice to finally meet you." I'd been on this campus for 3 years now, by the way. "Arch, it's so nice to finally meet you. I just want you to know this meeting is not about your sexuality. I have gay friends." I wanted to say, well, welcome to living in the world. But instead, I muted myself and sat down. Now, Melissa came prepared with a packet of photos, of events, all these things that I had done around the campus in the last couple years. And I came with my off-the-chart student assessments, testimonials from my students, and I talked about this queer storytelling event that I'd helped organize and host, where their queer students talked about some really serious issues like suicide, which if you know any LGBTQ youth, that's like a very important subject for us to talk about. And so I said to them, look, you might not need me specifically to teach that class or whatever, but you need someone on this campus that can talk to these kids about these things. And do you know anyone on campus ready and willing to do that? There was silence, and I thought for a moment I had broken through. Arch, the problem is there's this donor. And this donor saw a video of yours, and this donor just doesn't think you're someone who belongs on this campus. Now, the piece of work they were talking about is a story I do called Stripper Daddy that talks about what it was like for me to grow up gay and Asian, and also talks about an incident of sexual trauma that I'd been through. Now, according to this donor, the way I talk about my own life and my own sexual trauma is inappropriate. Hashtag things you don't need to tell a survivor. Yes. Anyways, he told me that, and I pointed out this blunt hypocrisy, because North Park had invited me to perform Stripper Daddy in their chapel the year before in front of hundreds of their students. I reminded them of that, and I said, I would be happy to explain the video to this donor. And he said, Arch, but you can't explain yourself to every donor that we have. And I said, are you sure? I'm very happy and willing to try. Because we were determined to try. We kept trying and trying until I realized that no matter what evidence I gave of how good my class had gone, no matter what I had done on that campus, no matter what I was willing to do on that campus, nothing I could say was going to outbid that donor. And my heart sunk, because while one of those deans never seemed interested in anything I had to say, I could tell the other dean could see my worth, but just didn't think it was worth it to stand up for it. I was so angry that even at a Christian university, money had so much power. But of course it does. Welcome to the world. And I also left angry and confused because maybe it wasn't that I'm gay. Maybe it's okay that I'm gay. Maybe it's the type of gay that I am. Like maybe if I was more like Lindsey Graham or Mike Pence, I could still teach at North Park University. Burn, bitches. But handpicking diversity for your college pamphlets is a shame. You cannot just shun the stories of the people that you consider diverse. That's not what the diversity is. Because the truth is, all of us have stories that are dark and can make us feel shameful. But it's when we reclaim those narratives for ourselves that we can empower ourselves and other people. And these are not just smart words I'm saying. I heard them on NPR. It might have even been Terry Gross. And I had done that. I had gone from a very confused and muted lady boy who didn't even know where I fit in this world to a teacher. And I was so proud of that. And I saw the rest of my life unfolding at North Park University. And when I got home from that meeting, I sobbed like a goddamn baby into my roommate's robe. But just because you lose something you love doesn't mean you have to stop doing what you love. And luckily, through Story Jam and Outspoken, now since I've already told you I sometimes feel like alley trash, I'm gonna humble brag this. In 2019, I have helped more than 100 queer stories from people aged 12 to 72 up onto a stage, and I am very, very proud of that. And I may have left North Park University behind. I may have left most of Christianity behind. But there are a few words I learned at that school that I'm sure echoed in Martin Luther King's ear that echo in my ear and always keep me going. Do all the good that you can for all the people that you can in all the different ways that you can forever as long as you can. Thank you so much, everyone.
So I'd like to invite Sarah Marie to come and join us. This is Sarah Marie Young.
Done my work, good deeds in dark places, grew light in cold spaces, continue to be. Crossing the line, I keep running, keep pulling, repairing the ruin for others like me. But it's not me to write another anthem about hypocrisy and all of its ills. I'm alive, I'm awake. Call me trash to my face. I still will. Turned it around from scared child to a teacher. My life in stories and feature. The gift is my choice. Quiet to listen, give power to others. Speak love to my brothers, their truth has a voice. But it's not me to sing it on a mountain. I wanna work behind the scenes with no frills. Leave your judgmental dollar, your religion, your collar. Start a revolution inside your institution. What's it to you? Well, maybe I would start a sing it on a mountain. I wanna work behind the scenes with no frills. But keep your judgmental dollar, your religion, your collar.
Thank you, Archie, for your wonderful story.